So today I'm going to talk about how hate is not worth your time. The reason I talk about that is because sometimes hate can be very significant as far as it can really take the joy out of life or out of just someone that you know or just anything about that, and it's not really worth your time because I feel like a lot of people, they just let hate take over. When they see someone that hurt them, they're just full of hate for that person. If they see something like liver, they're just full of hate. I know I am. But the point is, when it comes to hate, it's okay if someone hurt you or something like that, but don't be so filled up with hate that when you see someone that wronged you, that you're just so full of hatred that it ruins your day, and all you can think about is how much you hate that person. How I see it is when someone hurts you, it sucks, but it doesn't mean you have to hate that person. I don't really think I genuinely hate one person. I hate things about people sometimes. But at the end of the day, I find it's beneficial to think about some of the good things as well. Because when it comes to everything, like my mom's boyfriend, I can say that I hated him for how he treated me as a kid, and I did hate him for a while. But at the end of the day, what did that bring to my life? It brought no good to my life, being filled with hatred. It brought nothing good to my life at all. All it did was just made my day bad. It ruined my whole chances of finding any joy. It ruined a lot of myself, I would say, because I wasn't able to actually enjoy my day or enjoy simple things sometimes because I would be so aggravated and filled with hatred for how you treated me. But at the same time, I grew up. When I grew up, I started to look for the good in people for the most part. And that kind of changed a lot of things. Now someone can hurt me and I can get over it, and even if it irritates me still, it's okay because I know that those kind of things happen, because a lot of the times when people hurt you, it's no reflection about you. It can be as simple as just bad communication. Maybe they just weren't good at communicating, and the difference in communication or the lack of communication is what hurt you. It has nothing to do with the person, but the communication. That can happen. Another thing could be words. Sometimes people don't know how to express themselves, and so they have a poor choice of words, which can hurt you. And should I be mad at someone because they don't know how to communicate? No. Should I be mad at someone because they don't have the words to make it to where they could actually communicate better with me, or have the words to really talk about how they, or I guess that just is the communication, have the words to really express how they feel or something like that? I don't think I should be mad at someone that can't find the words to really express how they feel about a certain thing. And some people are just mean in general, but that doesn't mean they should take over your time or fill your heart with hatred. I'm going to be mentioning my mom's boyfriend a lot because he is no winner. I mean, he called me an a-hole when I was 15 years old, something like that. He called me an a-hole because I wanted to go home early because I missed my dad. And when I say I wanted to go home early, I mean like a couple hours early. That's it. I just wanted to go home a few hours early because I missed my dad. And I was called an ungrateful asshole. That was the person he is. If that doesn't tell you how he is, that's how he was. He spent a lot of my time growing up saying about how I was dumb, how I was not going to really accomplish much, how I was not welcomed there at times. We would get in an argument and he would say, "You're not welcomed here anymore. You'll never come here again. You're not welcomed anymore." He would belittle me a lot. He would always talk about how dumb I was. He would cuss me out. He would call me names. And this was when I was in elementary school, it was in middle school, and it was in high school. And that is how it was. And my mom never stood up for me. He could say that stuff in front of my mom, and she wouldn't do a thing because she didn't really care. Or maybe she did care, but she didn't want to get in the middle of it. I don't know. But the point is, that is how he was. That filled me up with a lot of hatred. It's like, why are you calling me dumb for? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you treating me like that? You should not treat me like that. And it was just irritating. And it's a lot for a little kid to deal with. And so I got really filled with hate. A lot of negative emotions about the whole thing. And when it regarded him, I was holding a lot of negative emotions. I would see him and I would get mad. I would think about him and I would get mad. And that wasn't good. It's like, what benefits does that have in my life? Or anything like that. Like, if I lived life like that, where someone made me mad or someone hurt me and I just was filled with hatred and negative emotion to the point where I couldn't enjoy anything in life, that's not a life worth living. That just sucks. So, you gotta understand that some people are gonna hurt you, but it's not always because they are a bad person. I've been hurt by good people that had lack of communication, didn't know how to communicate as well as they should have. I've been hurt by people that got busy with life, and next thing I know, they just weren't there. Or things like that, there's more than just being a bad person that can hurt you. Sometimes they're really genuinely good people that might hurt you or something like that just because of something in their life or just lack of communication or just something like that. So it's not good to fill your heart with that kind of stuff. Just look at the good of people. When it comes to my mom's boyfriend, yeah, he cussed me out, he called me dumb a lot and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I remember one time I broke a glass, and instead of being mad at me, instead of yelling at me for breaking the glass, he just looked at me and go, "Don't you hate when that happens? Doesn't it make you mad?" And that's all it was. It's just he kind of reassured me that it was okay to break the glass because it was an accident. Which is very odd. Like, he called me an ungrateful asshole because I wanted to go home a couple hours early when I was like 14. But yet when I accidentally broke a glass, he's just like, "Don't you just hate it when you break a glass? Doesn't it just make you mad when the glass slips and breaks?" And that was it. So for every bad person, there's always going to be those good characteristics or those good things that they can do. Doesn't mean you have to go out of your way to be around that person. I don't go out of my way to hang out with my mom's boyfriend or even talk to my mom's boyfriend. I'll be civil when he's around. I'll now talk to him if he talks to me, but I don't go out of my way to do it. My point is, you can always find something good in someone. No matter how bad the person is, you can always find at least one good thing about that person. And at the end of the day, just realize that everyone is just a person, and sometimes the reason why they are the way they are is maybe because of their childhood or trauma. Not everyone can grow up and mature. Not everyone can realize their mistakes and know how to fix their mistakes. Not everyone can realize things that they need to work on and improve on that to become a better person. Because everyone can improve themselves, everyone can change for the better, but not everyone will. And it's good to know that a lot of the time it has no reflection on, or a lot of the time it might not even be just because they want to be a bad person. It can, like I said earlier in this video, and I'm repeating it could be a lack of communication. It can be maybe they are just going through a tough time right now and they just don't have the energy to really deal with a whole lot. So maybe they might say something that might not be all that great. Maybe they had a traumatizing experience which changed them to the point where they are more protective, or maybe they just gave up on life and they seem a little bit more rude. There's a lot of reasons why people are the way they are, or why someone might hurt you either intentionally or unintentionally, and it's good to know when it was intentional or unintentional. That is a very important thing to know as well. So when it comes to hate, there's no really room to hate anyone or anything. And I can tell right now, if someone hurt me, I don't care. If they need someone to talk to, I'll be there for them to talk to, because at the end of the day, I know sometimes it was an accident. No one's perfect. Sometimes people change. Sometimes people didn't mean to hurt you. It happens. So when it comes down to it, there's no reason. When it comes down to it, it's very beneficial to let go of that hate, no matter what happened. I can't say no matter what happened. Some things would be a lot harder to let that go. But luckily for me, nothing super challenging has occurred yet for that to happen to me. Anyways, I feel like I keep repeating myself, so I'm just gonna end it with this. Life is a lot beneficial when you don't hold on to hatred or negative emotion. And life can be a lot better when you start looking at the bright side of things or the good in people. Just because someone is mean doesn't mean you can't find something good in them. Just because someone is good doesn't mean don't have their mean moments as well. Because I know sometimes I can have mean. I'm pretty sure I hurt people before, but you can't find one person on earth that has never hurt anyone. So that's that. That's all I gotta say about that. And when it comes to life, it's a lot easier, no, not easier, but a lot better when you can just find the good in little things. Enjoy little things. Because once you're filled with hatred and everything you see reminds you of something you hate or someone you hate, and you're just filled with hatred, all you're doing is you're just making life worse for you. Because no one's going to want to be around someone that's hatred and nothing but hatred. And when you are just full of hate, no one's going to want to listen to you because that hatred is clouding your judgment, and your word choice is most likely kind of bad when you're filled with hate because you're not trying to reason with people, you're not trying to talk to people. You're trying to express your hatred, and no one wants to be around that. So it's better just to be positive and not hold hatred dear to your heart, because that's when people will start to be around more. Because people like being around positive people. People like being around people that make them feel good. People like being around people that don't complain all the time. People like being around people that aren't as negative all the time. People like being around people that are happy for life. And that's all I have to say about that. If you're filled with hatred and all you do is complain or talk about everything you hate and things like that, no one's gonna really want to be around you. And what's the point of life if no one else is around with you? There is no point in life if you can't share the good parts with people. And yeah, I've been rambling on enough. I don't know if I'll edit this video. I'll find out when I go to edit it. And yeah, so just subscribe down below for more videos and enjoy the rest of your day.